Hi again, everybody. My name is Greg Anderson, and this is the Good Timekeeping Show with Greg Anderson. So, a few weeks ago, around Father's Day, my family made sure I got this watch. And I really like this one, G-Shock Square with Bluetooth. I like the color scheme on it. One of the reasons I knew I was going to like it was that I already had this one here. Same module, same everything except just different colors. And also this one here that I had before had a bracelet instead of a resin watch band. So anyway, I knew I was going to like all the functions and features on this one, and I like the colors. And the only thing I thought after I had it for a while is, I kind of prefer the bracelet. What if I got a bracelet for this watch? And that gave me a couple of options here. One thing I could do is just maybe swap these out. Put the band on here, the resin band, and put the bracelet on here. Just switch those. But the problem there was then this watch here would have a resin band instead of a bracelet. And I liked this one with the bracelet. I didn't want to change that. So I figured, well, I need to buy a new bracelet for this guy then. And now I had to decide, what was I going to do? I could get the original combi bracelet that Casio has sold with their G-Shock squares, this one here. It's a little bit expensive, but I could get one of those bracelets and use that. Or I could get a third-party Chinese copy. It looks about the same. It feels more lightweight. Some people don't like it because they think it feels cheap. And it is quite a bit less expensive to get this Chinese copy instead of the genuine Casio one. So I guess I could go with either of these and it'd probably be okay. This one's holding up okay, even though it is, you might say, cheap, lightweight, inexpensive. I could get those, but we got looking at it, and the more we thought about it and consulting with my wife, we kind of like the look of this Bluetooth bracelet. I'll call it the Bluetooth bracelet, and figured, what if I get another one of these Bluetooth bracelets and put it on this other watch? So a genuine Casio product. So it's going to cost a little bit more than any kind of third-party product out there. And I looked around, shopped around, and I think I found the best deal from watchway.co.uk. I had purchased a bracelet from them previously for this G-Shock here, and I liked that, genuine Casio product. So I went ahead and made the purchase. They sent it from the UK, and now I have this right here, ready to install. Okay, so there's the kind of the part number that they put on it, genuine Casio product. This is the match to the Bluetooth bracelet. Let's take it out of the package and get on with this. And you can see on here that this is distinct from this previous combi bracelet. This has kind of that, diamond plate look there, and then, those links there. Whereas this one, a smoother look. It's got those circles there that kind of match what's already in the bezel and on the other original resin band. So I like the way this looks. And another nice thing about this one is, since I already have this bracelet on this watch here and it's already sized to my wrist, I can go ahead and remove some links and sort of pre-size this before I install it on the other watch. And it might be a little bit easier to do before I install it. It's already pretty easy because there are little spring bars here on the back of the watch, that hold those links together. So it's really easy to work with those if you want to remove any links. So let's do that first, and then I'll go ahead and install it. Of course, I recommend that you use some kind of cloth like this to help catch any small pieces as you're working with it. If I line this up, it looks like there was one link removed from this side. So I'll try to match the size there. And then come over here to the other side, see how that lines up. It looks like for this one, I also removed, it looks like one link. So if I remove one link from either side of this new one, it should match up with the size that I have on this one. Now, in order to take just one link out, the thing you'll have to do is remove the spring bar from the same position in two links that are right next to each other. And with the spring bar tool, has that little V-shaped opening on the end of it. Should be pretty easy to just press it in there. And there, look at how simple this is. Oh, this is great. Probably one of the easiest watch bands to deal with, or bracelets, when it comes to adding or removing links. So then it's just so simple. All I have to do is line that up there, compress the end of this spring bar, and get it into place. All right, there it goes. A little bit awkward. I'm going to blame the fact that I'm trying to do it on camera for the fact that I wasn't, perfectly efficient doing that. So I'll do one more on this side. And again, just so easy to work with these spring bars. Oh man. Oh, that makes me so happy. Okay. And again, line those up, recompress the spring bar, twist it a little bit, make sure it is snapped into place. Oh man, that was so easy to do. Now, this part is a little bit trickier to install this into the watch. I'm going to keep these pieces because you never know if I'll need them again. I'll put them in a nice, tidy little, Ziploc bag, or maybe the bag that the replacement bracelet came in. And then I'll always have those standing by in case I ever need to put a link back in. It's nice to have a collection of little components like that you can just go back to. Now, the tricky part about working with these G-Shock squares is you kind of got to get deep in here with your spring bar tool in order to work with those spring bars. And you're dealing with, in this watch, plastic or resin case of the watch. So if you've got this pointed end here and you're digging around in there, and if you're not too careful, you might gouge things or even crack things and damage things in there. So just be very careful about the way you just gently, patiently, I'm going to compress this spring bar here, and then I should be able to just kind of rotate this particular watch band out of its spot. See, that was pretty easy. It's the putting the new one in that's going to kind of be the tricky part. Okay, because it is kind of deep in there, especially if you're trying to do this on camera. I know I don't want to complain about this too much, but that does make it a little more awkward. All right, so I'm mostly there. Look at that. I've got this freed up. Now all I have to do is put this on here. Last time I tried this, the spring bar was a little bit of a tight fit in there. It looks like that one's not bad though. Okay, so that's going to fit all right. And see, this has to go kind of deep in the back of the case of the watch here. So let me line that up. I had to double check that this side goes to the top part of this case. So I want to make sure that matches the way it is on the other one, or it'll feel like I'm putting the watch on upside down, right? Okay, again, tricky to do this on camera, but I'm just gonna kind of wedge that in there and then very patiently compress the tip of this spring bar and push this into position. All right, this was tricky, but if I'm confident that it's lined up, I gave it a little shove that way, to make sure that the tip of that spring bar was well seated in the hole that it's supposed to go into. Same on this other side. And I'm pretty confident now that I have it. If I give it a little tug, kind of try to rotate it that way, it feels pretty solid. So now I just have to do the other side. And this might be a little easier on me if I go ahead and take the two parts of this bracelet apart, just removing this spring bar in the micro adjustment area. So now that may make it a little bit easier to work with this other half. So again, I'm going to slide the original spring bar that came with the resin band into position and just very carefully work this in, trying not to gouge anything and trying, again, to be very patient. All right, once again, a little bit tricky, but I think I finally got it. I'm just going to make sure I'm satisfied that these ends are well seated where they're supposed to go, all lined up. All right, I think I finally got it without doing a lot of, too much damage to these ends here where I was poking around with that spring bar tool. Now, if I match this up with the sizing on the other one, I'm going to put this micro adjustment spring bar in here, right about in this position here. Okay, and it looks like, oh wait, it's a little bit crooked here. Let me take the pointed end of this spring bar because I got to move this one back one hole. There. Now that is a match to the size of the other one, or at least it should be. Let's try it on my wrist and see what it looks like. Okay, so here's the first one I had. That's how that one fits. Now let's swap out for this one that just got its new bracelet. See how that fits. And it looks to be basically the same. So there I go. Nice looking watch now with the bracelet that I like so well. Let's take the stickers off here. Just, protective film to keep things from getting scratched. This bracelet has composite pieces here, and this looks like these are also, these smaller sections of the links are also composite, but down here, this is kind of a metal with, kind of a special coating on it. That almost looks rubberized right there where it says G-Shock, and of course, those parts of it are metal as well. So I'm going to have to be careful with it. I don't want to get it scratched up too much. I suppose if I scratch this part up, it's going to look like bare metal underneath, and I don't want to do that. So I'll probably be very careful with this watch now that it has this bracelet on it. But I think I'm really going to like it. Let's get a good before and after on the weight. First of all, here's this watch I'm going to change. And let's see, it weighs in at, what is that? 53 grams, okay. Now here's a similar one with a different color, and it comes in at, again, 53 grams. Compare that to the one that already has the bracelet on it, 81 grams. So, all right. And I may have to do the conversion on this one eventually as well. This is my other Bluetooth G-Shock Square. So again, let's weigh this one, just see how it looks. Okay, 53 grams. And then this other one weighing in 82 grams, okay, and now this one here should be really close to 82 grams as well. Okay, 81 grams. Okay, so it weighs a little bit more with the bracelet, but I do think the bracelet is very comfortable, and I'm glad I did this. This cost me about 66 pounds or 65 pounds, somewhere in the range of 65 pounds from watchway.co.uk. They shipped it, reasonably fast to me. It's one of those where the tracking showed that it was stuck at the final step of the Royal Mail system at Heathrow or something for a few days until you start to get a little nervous. Is it going to stay there forever? And then all of a sudden it gets into the U.S. mail system, and it was at my house before you knew it. So that's how it was fairly easy to purchase this one. In fact, it was so easy, I decided to go ahead and get another one of these bracelets for another one of these watches. And I'll show you all about that coming up later. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this, knowing that, again, you still have options. These are the options I went with. But if you wanted to, you could look around. You could get this cheap Chinese one. It's actually not that bad. In fact, it's not bad. I shouldn't say not that bad. Of course, I do prefer the genuine Casio product. It just feels more solid and nice. And you pay a price for that. But if you shop around, you might find a good deal. So anyway, that's all for now. Hope you have fun with your G-Shocks, and I will see you again soon on another episode of The Good Timekeeping Show.